वाग्जाड्यमलापहन्त्रीं नवं नवं सुष्ठुसुवाक्प्रदायिनीं ममैव जिह्वाग्रसुरङ्गनर्तकीं भवत्प्रसन्नावदने समे श्री नमः सभाय नमः सभापतिभ्यश्च. Today I am going to divulge upon Stridhana, the property rights of women, customary and legal laws of Tamilnadu. Women, whether a maiden, a wife or a widow, has never been denied property. The property which may be owned by a woman is divisible into two kinds, namely property of which she is the absolute owner and property of which she is a limited owner. The former is known as Stridhana and the latter is known as women's estate. There are two principal points of difference between Stridhana and women's estate. In the case of women's estate, the female owner has a limited power of disposal, her right of alienation being circumcised by legal necessity or benefit of estate. In the case of Stridhana, however, it being her absolute property, she can dispose it of at her free will. In the case of women's estate, on the death of the female owner, the property passes not to her heirs, but her heirs of the last male holder. But in the case of Stridhana, the property passes on to her own heirs as laid down under the Hindu law. The word Stridhana is derived from Stri and Dhana. In this way, Stridhana etymologically mean women's property. The subject of Stridhana or women's peculium occupies a larger place in Sanskrit law books. The term Stridhana first occurred amongst Smritis and the Dharma Sutra of Gautama and literally mean women property. Manusmriti enumerates 6 types of Stridhana as Adhyagni, Adhyavahanikam, Dattamcha, Preeti Karmani, Bhratru, Matru, Pitru Praptam, Shadvidam Stridhanam Smritam. Adhyagni, Adhyavahanika, Preeti Datta, Bhratru Datta, Matru Datta and Pitru Datta. He also includes Anvadeya, that is the gift of husbands or his family out of affection to the bride, is also added under this list. Yajnavalkya presents several kinds of Stridhana and include 3 more types to the list of Manu as Adivedanika, a wealth presented to the wife by her husband on marrying another wife. Bandhu Datta, which is a gift presented by her co-agnates, and Shulka, that is the bride's price. Pitru Matru Pati Bhratru Datta Madhyam Adhyanikam Upagatam Adi Vedanika Adhyam Cha Stridhanam Parikirtitam Bandhu Dattam Tata Shulkam Anvadeyakam Evacha. To condense their views in the simplest form, women could acquire property in 4 principal ways. Number 1, what was given to her at the time of marriage. Number 2, gifts given to her after marriage either by the parents, husband, husband's family out of affection, through inheritance and by her own working. Katyayana gives more elaborate treatment in his Smriti of Stridhana in about 27 verses. He enumerates the same 6 types like Manu, however, includes Saudhaika and Asaudhaika Stridhana with reference to women's independent power of disposal over it. Saudhaikam dhanam prapya strinam swatantriyam yishyate yasmat tad anrashamsyartam tad dattam upajeevanam. Saudhaike yad sada strinam swatantriyam parikirtitam vikraye che eva dhane cha yatayishtam stavareshvapi. Saudhaika Stridhana includes all sorts of property, movable and immovable property, which is absolutely at women's disposal and that she may spend, sell, devise or give it away at her own pleasure. For married women, her husband can neither control her in the dealings with it nor use it for himself except in the case of extreme distress. Asaudhaika Stridhana, on the other hand, included all other property that belonged to a woman and wealth which is acquired by her skill and mechanical arts. With regard to enjoying the property, she has absolute right, but disposing Asaudhaika Stridhana, she has to take her husband's consent. There are 2 important commentaries of Yajnavalkya Smriti, namely Mitakshara of Vijnaneshwara and Dayabhaga of Jimutavahana. The Mitakshara is supreme authority throughout India except Bengal. The Dayabhaga is of paramount authority in Bengal. These two major schools of thought on property rights emerged in 12th century AD. Dravida or Madras school is one of the four main schools that follows Mitakshara. The Dravida school accepts the following treatises as authority pertaining to legal decisions. They are Mitakshara, Smriti Chandrika, Parashara Madhaviya, Saraswati Vilasa, Veeramitrodaya, Vyavahara Nirnaya, Datta Chandrika, Datta Vibhaga, Dharma Sindhu and Smriti Muktapalam. Mitakshara and the authorities that follow it take the term Stridhana in its etymological sense as including all kinds of property of which women has become a owner, whatever the extent of her rights over it. Mitakshara explains the term Adi to include property which may have acquired by inheritance, purchase, partition, seizure and finding. According to Vijnaneshwara, Manu's sixfold classification is only illustrative. According to him, this includes the Saudhaika and Asaudhaika Stridhana. G. Mutavahana restricts the term that to a property of a woman over which she has absolute control over during the lifetime of her husband. Tadeva cha Stridhanam yatra bhartrataha swatantriyena dana vikraya bhogan kartum adhikaroti. Hence, Mitakshara and Dayabhaga differ in categorizing the Stridhana as Saudhaika and Asaudhaika by the former, Yautaka and Ayotaka by the latter. The Vyavahara Mayuka of Mithila school segregates Stridhana as Paribhashika and Aparibhashika. Devolution of Stridhana, devolution rights of women over her Stridhana. The rights of women over her Stridhana differs according to the status of women as to whether she was a maiden, a married or a widow. If it is a maiden property, a Hindu female could dispose of her Stridhana of every description at her pleasure. During covertures, when she is given protection by her husband, the power of woman is to dispose of her Stridhana depends on the character of the Stridhana. Saudhaika Stridhana can be disposed by her since she has absolute power and ownership of such property. On the other hand, she could not dispose Asaudhaika Stridhana without her husband's consent. Such property was subject to her husband's dominion and was entitled to use it at his pleasure even if there was no distress. During widowhood, a Hindu woman had absolute power of disposal over every kind of Stridhana, whether acquired before or after the husband's death. The sources of Hindu law include customs or sadachara, we commonly call, as one of the paramount sources of Hindu law. That is, in Manu, we find Vedaha Smritihi Sadacharaha Swasya cha Priyamatmanaha Etat Chaturvidam Prahuhu Sakshat Dharmasya Lakshanam. Apart from these, Yajnavalkya and others accept concepts like Samyak Sankalpa, that is good resolution, Nyaya and Yukti, reason and equity to the source of Hindu law. Sadachara or custom, it is believed to be based on unrecorded tradition and its observance is insisted on by the ancient writers. Manu confirms a custom in its legal sense as Yasmin Deshe ye acharaha paramparya kramagataha varnanam sandralanam cha sadachara uchyati. A rule which is in a particular family, class or district has from long usage obtained the force of law. It must be ancient, certain, reasonable and continuously to be followed. Narada in his Smriti declares custom decides everything and overrides a sacred law. Vyavaharohi balavan dharmaha tena avyavahiti. Manu declares that all cases which fall under 18 titles of Vyavahara or civil law is divided according to the principles drawn from the local usage and from the existing law. Further, he says that the legal authorities must inquire into the specific laws of castes, districts, guilds and families and settle the peculiar law of each accordingly. Following this, Yajnavalkya also emphasized that one should not practice that which, though ordained by the Smritis, is condemned by the people, and whether the custom, law and usage of the place, those should be observed and followed by the monarch as before. Yasmin deshe ye acharo vyavaharaha kulastitihi tataiva paripalyo asau yata vamsham upagataha. Hence, customs undoubtedly played an important role as one of the material source of ancient Hindu law. Medaditi, the great commentator on Manu, was of the opinion that the custom and usages of the people supplied the nucleus as it is found in the Smritis. Main, in his Hindu law, has described custom as residual and overriding body of positive law. It is worthy to note the opinion of Brihaspati here, who says suppression of customs would give rise to resentment. Praja prakshubhyate anyata. Under the Hindu system of law, clear proof of usage will outweigh the written text of law. There are three kinds of customs recognized in our judicial systems. They are local, class, and family custom. Local custom comprises of some particular locality, state, or district, and they are binding on the inhabitants of such place. Class custom are of caste or of sect or of the followers of the particular profession or occupation, such as agriculture, trade, mechanical art, and the like. Family custom, such customs relate to particular family, particularly concerning succession to an undivided estate or succession to mutt or religious foundations. Women's property right under customary law. Local customs under the Smritis were held in high esteem and were recognized as important source of law. The commonly used terms such as achara, sadachara, sishtachara, etc. symbolizes various features of custom. These local customs varied from region to region in terms of their acceptance. So far as the women's rights are concerned, southern states in their local customs granted much more rights to women. Incidentally, it is also believed that Vijnaneshwara, who gave Mitakshara on Yagyavalkya Smriti and who had extended his structure of women's property rights, belonged to the southern region, that is Gulbarga near Karnataka. The southern and primarily Dravidian regions followed various pro-women practices of property inheritance even under Smriti law. The broad-minded definition of Stridhana under the Madras school is an example of this. There were also other lesser known local customs and practices prevalent in the region which were also favoring women's status. For example, there are many references to women and their use of property in inscriptions on belonged to Tamilnadu, which had traced back to 13th to 14th century AD during the reign of Chola, Pandya and Pallava. The inscriptions indicate that at the time of ownership, rights including the power of alienation through gifts and sales were given to women. Similarly, a custom of handing down a piece of land to the daughter at the time of her marriage existed within Madras Presidency. It is to be noted that these gifts of immovable property comes under Saudhaika Stridhana. So, women had an exclusive ownership to sell or to, make, collect wealth out of it. So, it devolved on the female heirs and passed from mother to daughter, usually handed over to the girl when she gets married. And this land was called Manjal Kani. It is believed that the reference to turmeric indicates that this was land probably not part of patrilineal property on which short-time minor cash crops like turmeric could be grown. The more plausible explanation seems to be that this was meant to provide an independent income to the daughter, which would be enough at least for personal expenses. In almost all cases, the income from this land certainly seems to go to that woman. The extent of control or decision-making right that she has over this land would, however, seem to vary from individual to individual and family to family. Incidentally, it is believed that the practice of cross-cousin marriages as well as marriage within the maternal uncle was an attempt to keep the property which went to daughter and within the control of natal family. Similarly, a custom of handing over 1/3 of the property by the husband existed when he remarries it, and it was called Patni Bhagam. Another form of property over which a woman had absolute control was her jewelry and personal belongings. Jewelry inherited from mother almost always was handed over to daughters. In addition to these inheritance rights, women of Tamil Nadu also have some customary rights. Among all castes and class of the state, the bride receives a special gift from her mother's family, usually from the maternal uncle, known as Amman Seer, which include the bride's sari, a gold ring, and a silver toe rings. Married daughters similarly continue to receive Pongal Seer from their brothers each year, besides having several other claims to ritual gifts from the natal home. These may be small in value, but are important in that they establish a continuous claim on the family property. These customs and practices are also prevalent in other southern states of India. In Andhra Pradesh, the same custom of giving land to daughter during marriage by name Kattanam existed. The same way, 12% of Karnataka Veera Saiva women also inherited property from the mother, which would be passed to the successive generations of daughter. The significant feature of the custom in Tamilnadu that needs to be stressed is that the local customs were beneficial to women folk by empowering them to manage and control property as an absolute owner. Women of medieval period not only owned and managed removable property but became complete owners of cultivating lands. Women property under modern Hindu law, I quickly come to the ends. Women's right to property has been substantially improved by the Hindu Succession Act in 1956, which is passed. The concept of women being entitled to a limited estate when they acquire property by inheritance is abolished, and women are entitled to an absolute estate like men when they inherit any property. Daughters are included in class 1 heirs in order to remove discrimination on the basis of gender. Succession to women's property on Stridhanam of whatever nature is made uniform. Section 14 of this act confers women to have absolute ownership of her property of any kind, whether movable or immovable. Section 6 of this act widens the meaning of members of co-portionary and present daughters equal rights along with male members of co-portionary property. In modern Hindu law, the term Stridhana denotes not only specific kind of property enumerated in the Smritis, but also other species of property acquired or owned by a woman over which she has absolute control, and she forms an independent stock of descent in respect of such property, which accordingly devolves on her own heirs. Thus, modern Hindu law with its amendments from 1956 to 2005 is total commitment for the women empowerment and provides more and more property rights to women, and in fact it extends the meaning what it is ordained in Smritis. Conclude to sum up, whether it is Shastraic laws or local customs or even modern Hindu law, women were always treated as a privileged class to enjoy property rights just as their male counterparts. It is imperative at this juncture to note that the status of women had never been low, which it seems to appear. The literary, inscriptional evidences present to us a society of medieval period where women were treated with utmost respect and care. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity extended to me. Thank you, sir.
It was a nice paper. When a Stri is happy with the Stri Dhana, it is really heartening to hear that. Now I invite Dr. Sujata Mohan, Assistant Professor of Department of Natya, Dr. M.G.R. Janaki College for Arts and Science. Natya Shastra Karanas in the sculptures of Tamil Nadu. So I'd like the speakers to restrict themselves to about 10 to 12 minutes because we have 7 papers and then the next session is also to be had.